What if life has no ultimate meaning? What if there is no grand purpose, no cosmic justice, and no final explanation waiting for us at the end of the road? And if that is true, is life still worth living? These are the unsettling questions at the heart of The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus, one of the most influential philosophical works of the 20th century. Camus does not write to comfort us. He writes to confront us with reality and then ask what it truly means to live with courage, honesty, and freedom. Camus begins with what he calls the only serious philosophical problem, suicide. Before debating morality, knowledge, or truth, we must ask whether life itself is worth continuing. If existence is meaningless, why not give up? Camus rejects this conclusion. Instead, he argues that the absence of meaning does not make life worthless, it makes it urgent. The realization that life has no ultimate purpose forces us to decide how we will live anyway. Central to Camus' philosophy is the concept of the absurd. The absurd arises from the clash between our desire for meaning and the silent, indifferent universe. Humans crave order, purpose, and explanation. The universe offers none. This tension creates discomfort, anxiety, and despair. But Camus insists that the absurd is not a problem to be solved. It is a condition to be faced. Many people attempt to escape the absurd. Some turn to religion, faith, or ideology to impose meaning on the universe. Others distract themselves with work, pleasure, or routine. Camus calls these strategies forms of philosophical suicide. They deny reality instead of confronting it honestly. To live authentically, Camus argues, we must resist false hope and accept uncertainty fully. Camus rejects suicide as well. Ending one's life avoids the problem instead of responding to it. Suicide is a confession that life is not worth the struggle. Camus argues that the proper response to the absurd is not escape, but rebellion. To live is to rebel. To continue living despite meaninglessness is an act of defiance. This rebellion is not violent or destructive. It is internal. It is the refusal to surrender consciousness, the refusal to lie to oneself, the refusal to accept comforting illusions. Rebellion means living with full awareness of the absurd while choosing life anyway. It is a constant confrontation, not a resolution. Camus introduces the figure of Sisyphus to illustrate this idea. In Greek mythology, Sisyphus is condemned by the gods to roll a boulder up a mountain for eternity. Each time he reaches the top, the stone rolls back down. His labor is endless, pointless, and repetitive. This punishment seems cruel and hopeless. Yet Camus sees something powerful in Sisyphus. Camus asks us to imagine Sisyphus fully aware of his fate. He knows the boulder will fall again. He knows there is no escape. But in his awareness lies his freedom. The gods control his punishment, but they cannot control his consciousness. In accepting the absurdity of his task without resignation, Sisyphus becomes greater than his fate. Camus famously concludes that we must imagine Sisyphus happy, not because his situation is pleasant, but because his acceptance transforms it. Happiness, in Camus' view, does not come from meaning or hope. It comes from lucidity, from seeing reality clearly and choosing to live within it without illusions. Another key idea in the myth of Sisyphus is the importance of passion. Camus argues that a life without ultimate meaning can still be rich, intense, and fulfilling. When we stop searching for eternal purpose, we become free to fully experience the present. We savor moments, relationships, creativity, and action for their own sake. Life gains intensity precisely because it is finite. Camus rejects the idea of resignation. Accepting the absurd does not mean giving up. It means engaging more deeply. The absurd man lives without appeal. He does not seek justification from the universe. He does not ask for permission to live. He acts, loves, creates, and struggles simply because he is alive. The book also explores how habit dulls our awareness of existence. Most people live mechanically, repeating routines without reflection. Camus argues that moments of crisis, boredom, or shock awaken us to the absurd. These moments are not enemies. They are opportunities. They remind us that life is fragile and strange. Awareness disrupts autopilot. Camus emphasizes that freedom is born from accepting limits. When we accept that life has no final meaning, we stop waiting for answers. We stop postponing life. We stop sacrificing the present for an imagined future. Freedom emerges from living fully now, without expectation of reward. Another central theme is defiance. Camus believes dignity comes from refusing to surrender inner freedom. Even in suffering, even in repetition, even in struggle, humans retain the power to choose their attitude. This choice is the essence of human dignity. Camus does not offer a system or a set of rules. He offers a stance. Live without appeal. Refuse false hope. Embrace uncertainty. Create meaning through action rather than belief. The absurd does not demand despair. It demands courage. The myth of Sisyphus also challenges the idea that happiness requires meaning. Camus argues that happiness and absurdity can coexist. Joy does not require purpose. It requires presence. When we stop searching for justification, we begin to experience life directly. Beauty, love, effort, and struggle become sufficient. Camus acknowledges that living with the absurd is difficult. It requires constant awareness. The temptation to escape into illusion is always present. Rebellion must be renewed every day. There is no final victory. There is only persistence. The deeper message of the book is that life's value does not depend on explanation. Life is valuable because it is lived. The act of living consciously, passionately, and defiantly is itself meaningful, even in a meaningless universe. The big takeaway from the myth of Sisyphus is both unsettling and empowering. The universe may be indifferent. There may be no ultimate answers, but within that silence, humans are free to choose, free to act, free to create meaning through living itself. The struggle is enough to fill a human heart. So what does Sisyphus teach us today? That even repetitive, difficult lives can be lived with dignity. That awareness is power. That meaning is not discovered but created through action. And that choosing to live fully without illusion is the ultimate rebellion. If this idea resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this summary, like this video, subscribe to 10-Minute Books and tap the bell so you never miss our weekly deep dives into life-changing books. Remember, the struggle itself is enough. Keep pushing the stone. Keep choosing life.